Hey everybody, it's Corey with Broken Bat Media. This is episode 5 of the Drive-In. We are heading into the game between the Albany Empire and the Baltimore Brigade. It's a rematch of last week's game. Last week, the Albany Empire defeated the Baltimore Brigade 61-53. Right now, the Empire technically are in first place based on overall points. However, tonight's game will decide who takes over sole possession of first place in the Arena Football League. Last week, Tommy Grady threw for 8 touchdown passes, 3 to Joe Hills, 3 to Malachi Jones, and they were just basically firing on all cylinders. They were really, they played their best game of the year, and from a fan's point of view, it looked like the Baltimore Brigade were embarrassed, especially their defense and their secondary. I mean, Tommy Grady picked them apart. They did have a little bit of a pass rush, but it wasn't enough to give their defensive backs a chance to cover Joe Hills, Malachi Jones, and they at times looked a little confused. So there's some motivation for the Brigade to really come out and prove that last week was a fluke and that they are the best team in the AFL. On the flip side of that, you have Albany, who is trying to come out and prove, hey, you know what, we're the best team. Doesn't matter that we're an expansion team. We're going to come out and we're going to really dominate. And obviously that starts with Joe Hills, Malachi Jones, and a quarterback, Tommy Grady. However, the one guy who kind of flies under the radar a little bit is, Colin Taylor. He doesn't get a lot of the pass catches. He doesn't get a lot of the big stats, but he does make plays when it matters. He returns kicks. He goes out and does plays on special teams. So I actually think today Colin Taylor is going to have a little bit more involvement in the game. He's a solid player. He's a veteran of the league. So I think he's going to have a pretty decent game. From the Baltimore point of view, like I said before, they were pretty much embarrassed. They have some motivation to go out to get revenge. I know this week the Baltimore Brigade Instagram account posted that revenge is best served cold. So they're aware that this is a big game. And I think that one of the factors that you have to take into consideration is a lot of the trash talking that goes on between these players. Obviously, Joe Hills, he talks trash, and you have the other team, they talk trash too, the Brigade. And he was able to really, maintain his composure and not get thrown out of the game. There was a couple times, there was some unsportsmanlike penalties. They just kept their composure when they weren't baited into any, bad, calls that would have got them thrown out of the game. But I think this week, if you're the Brigade, you got to get under Joe Hill's skin. You got to get under him, get him frustrated, play physical, jam him on the line, make sure he's not wide open, get him frustrated. And I think if you can get the Albany Empire frustrated, let's see how they react to it. Because, they haven't been in that situation the last 5 weeks where they've been frustrated. They've been basically winning these games pretty handily, especially against the Washington Valor. So I think you have to go out there, if you're the Brigade, and test the Albany Empire mentally and physically. Get physical with them. Make them earn this victory. From the offensive side of the ball with Baltimore, they played a great game last week. Yes, they had a late turnover in the fourth quarter where Brandon Cisse came in, had a sack strip. Daryl Cato-Jones recovered it. That was a big play. But other than that, in an interception, they were actually played a really good offensive football game. Randy Hibbard is the reigning MVP for, there's a reason that guy, he's so good. And I think this week he's going to come out and he's going to really perform well. It's going to be a great game. And again, whoever wins this game is in sole possession of first place. Whoever loses, theoretically, could be tied with Philadelphia. So it's really, where do you want that first seed? Or obviously the Valor haven't won a game. So if you are the first seed, right now it looks like you're obviously playing the Valor. So if you're Baltimore, you don't really want to play Philadelphia. If you're Albany, I don't think you want to play Philadelphia. So this is a huge game for both teams, and we'll see how it turns out. Take care.